Hi, this is Lawrence here from the team at Paul's Resurfacing here in Arizona. Today I'd like to talk about some of the 5 key steps to plaster an old swimming pool. Now, clearly replastering a swimming pool is not a 5-minute job. Doesn't mean that you have to spend money on hiring a professional to do the job, particularly if you're willing yourself to put in the time and effort to do the project. It is certainly possible to do it yourself. The average swimming pool requires replastering every 7 to 12 years, and depending upon the method of installation and how it has been maintained. So, as I said, what we're going to talk about today are some of the 5 things you could do if you need to replaster your pool. First things first, make sure you have the tools and the materials that are needed for your project. You will need the mix for pool, plaster, acid wash, paint, soda ash, compressor for air, a face mask, cleaning solution, finishing plaster mixed, a chisel, goggles, sump pump for submerging the pool, mixture for cement or mortar, air hammer or a normal hammer, a yard brush, sander, putty knife, brush for acid, buckets, hose, rubber gloves, wheelbarrow, shovel, paintbrush and a sponge. Just some of the tools you need, because guaranteed if you don't have those to hand when you're kicking off the work, you're going to regret it at the end. So, first things first, drain the swimming pool and use a sump pump to drain all the water that stays at the bottom of the pool. Clean the pool of all dirt and debris, and then use the sponge and cleaning solutions to make sure you get any of those last little remnants that won't wash away themselves. Make sure that you use an environmentally friendly cleaning solution for this purpose as well. You'll have a lot of excess water lying around. Second, identify the problematic areas where the plaster has significantly peeled off. Pay attention to the edges and corners of the pool. Take away any loose plaster with the chisel and putty knife. Sand the sharp edges where the plaster has been taken off, and make sure you sand the areas at least twice to make sure the areas are clean and neat for any easy replastering. Cheating on it then will cost you later, so it's worth spending that little bit of extra elbow grease to make sure you get those areas clean. Third, spray an acid wash over the surface. Use the acid brush to spread it effectively, as it will help give your new surface a conducive surface against which to apply the plaster and make sure it sticks and holds. Rinse away the acid afterwards, and do this with a hose. Keeps life simpler. Now, allow the surface enough time to dry, and then once it is completely dry, apply a bonded coat for replastering with the use of a roller, and then let it dry overnight. 4. Prepare the plaster according to the manufacturer's instructions. Apply the plaster using a street tap trowel. Start at the deepest end of the pool, working your way naturally towards the shallow end. And you should make sure that the plaster is applied at least 3/8 of an inch thick in all areas. Naturally, make sure the plaster is evenly applied, and then allow the plaster to dry completely. And last but not least, mix the plaster finish and apply it evenly in thicknesses of 1/4 of an inch. You may use a trowel this time to round to. Check for any flaws and correct them before letting the pool dry once again completely. The final step is to apply the pool paint to cover the entire surface, making sure it's even, no bubbles or areas where the paint has run. Using the paintbrush in one direction will offer a smooth finish to the job. And do not use the pool until the paint is completely dry. There you go. 5 simple and easy steps to make sure your pool surface is replastered.